Okay, all right. To anyone listening to the sound of my voice, I want to officially welcome you to another episode of my podcast, the Next Generation Orientation Podcast. And on today's episode, it's going to be all about the review of the principles I've talked about the few weeks with the guests I've had. Yeah, so this is my second review of what I've actually talked about for us to have an insight of the whole topics. So I'm going to start from worry and insecurity. I had this conversation with Mr. Fabulous, worry and insecurity, and I want us to understand what worry is all about. So I cannot outline that. Most of the time, the limitations we get in life is out of worry. So anything I'm saying here is from my own opinion, from my own perspective, because I figured out that worry has cost us, have limited us a lot in some kind of situation, opportunity to live life to the fullest, enjoying life and trying to fulfill a purpose, because we get worried about how we are going to get things done. So, and I think that one of the problems that we get worried is because of insecurity. Yes, because there's a lot of insecurity in our society these days that have actually made the scenario of worry to increase. So let me say what I mean by that. Let me explain what I mean by that. Insecurity is the act of you not believing in yourself. You're not believing in yourself. You're having doubt, a lot of doubt in yourself. Most of the times, insecurity could be caused by low self-esteem. So once you begin to have that doubt within yourself, you begin to have that insecurity within yourself, in your capabilities, in your abilities, in your dreams, in your goal, in your passion, in your skills. Like you begin to have this insecurity in the life you're living, and it is going to affect you a lot mentally, because it will make you to start worrying a lot. So but when you have this self-confidence, that is self-confidence brings security. When you have this self-confidence and security within you, and the things you are doing, or the things you've planned to set yourself to do, so there is going to be lesser worry. I don't know if you understand, because most times what we worry about actually happen to us, because once we are worried about it, we are scared about it. So that worry implements fear. It plants in fear within us. So once you have fear to achieve something, so you start seeing yourself not being able to fulfill a purpose, or not being able to enjoy the life you are living. Because definitely, let me tell you guys something. One thing worry does is that worry deprives you of happiness. See, I don't know, most of the things we worry about is the things we can actually solve. Most of the things we worry about are the problems we can actually solve. But ignorance actually made us not to be able to pay attention to those problems, so that we can able to get the solutions. You are worrying about where your next meal is going to come from. That problem is something you can solve if you have something you are doing. If you have something you are doing, you shouldn't be worried about where your next meal will come from. I don't know if you understand. Okay, now you are worried about where your next meal will come from because you don't have what you are doing. Which is what you're supposed to focus on that moment, is for you to get yourself something to do. Because definitely, if you worry about where your next meal is going to come from without having something to do, you will keep on. That problem is not going to be solved. Even if you get your next meal now, the problem is not yet solved. You still see yourself being worried about where your next meal will come from. After eating today's meal, tomorrow you will see yourself keep worrying about that. The next tomorrow you still. But if you can solve this problem of understanding that your next meal can come from your work, like you're doing something, there's something that you're not idle, you're doing something. Definitely you should know that whatever you're doing for you to be able to make a living can actually provide your next meal. So you see, you stop worrying about your next meal. Then some people that do business, they worry about where their next customer is going to come from, or when are they going to make their next sales. I don't know if you understand. That is not the solution. The solution is if you keep worrying about that, even though if you sell now, you still see that you will still be worried about where the next customer will come from. But if you figure out, okay, how am I going to run an advert or publicize my business or do a kind of a publicity, when you solve that problem, you see that you're not going to get worried again, because you know that you have done something that can actually bring those customers to you. I don't know if you understand. So most of the things I see ourselves getting worried about is something that shouldn't even worry us at all for any reason. But because of a lot of societal expectations, a lot of demands out there, a lot of pressure out there, there's a lot of pressure out there in the society because of lack of ignorance, or should I say lack of knowledge. A lot of ignorance, that a lot of things we've chosen to ignore is actually fighting us. Yes, most of the things that we've ignored totally is actually fighting us. So if we pay attention very well, we'll find out that the reason why we get worried or actually being insecure is because we'll fail to solve the real problem. Then we focus on, I've said this before, it's just like a tree is growing at your window side. A tree is at your window side, then the branch of the tree is kind of coming into your house, or so even if you cut off the branch of the tree, trust me, the branch of the tree is still going to grow up one day. But if you uproot the tree from the roof, then that means you've solved that problem. I don't know if you understand. But then if uprooting the tree from the roof, maybe the tree is important to you, then I think another way to solve the problem is maybe there's some chemicals. When you cut off the branch, there's some chemical they rub on the branch of the tree. Once you cut it off, all those stuff, like, it won't grow back again. So you cutting it. If you keep cutting it, the thing will keep growing, and it will keep disturbing you. So that is the best way to solve a problem, is actually to solve it from the root. So worry and insecurity is something that it is normal to get worried about something, but for you to allow the thing to take over you, it's something else. Getting worried about something is when you're about to take it. Yes, taking the next step to doing something greater, it should at least get you a little bit scared, or something like that. But that shouldn't be an avenue for you to allow it to weigh you down or to pull you down. Okay, so worry and insecurity is something that is very essential. We need to be aware of. Being aware of all these things makes it easy for you to solve it. So we talked about having hope. So, and me and Mr. Victor Ashedo, we talked about this having hope, and we definitely hit the nail. We talked about hope is the power to believe that anything is possible. Yeah, hope is the power to believe that anything is possible. Anything is possible regarding to what you are doing. I don't know if you understand. I believe that someone that produced or that invented this microphone had hope. You understand? That he believed that I can actually do this. I can actually invent something that if I speak from this angle, people from kilometers away can actually hear me through a speaker. I don't know if you understand all this invention. Like, there is hope that, is this possible? Yes, this is possible. So the only time where there is no hope is for you not to think of any possibilities. You are doing a business. You want to go into selling lands. You want to go into selling electronics. First of all, you ask yourself, is it possible? Yes. Is there people selling these things? Yes. Are there people making money from it? Yes. Are there people fulfilling purpose from it? Yes. So me that is doing it, why can't I believe that this thing is possible? That is actually hope. There's no two ways about that. Yeah, I don't need a quotation to actually let you understand this thing, that normally it's common sense make all these things possible. First of all, even just when you apply common sense, you will see that you will stop being religion in everything. Everything you do shouldn't be religious. Like, just think about it, that you want to start selling laptop, and you've asked yourself the question that, is this laptop sellable? Do you answer yourself yes? Are people selling this and making, like, people that are selling this, are they making money? You answer yourself yes. So now, can I become somebody through selling laptop? Yes. Do I have people that will need this laptop for me to sell to? Yes. So that means if I sell this laptop, there's every possibility for me to make a living. Gaskia, that is hope. Then believing that thing is possible, believing that selling this laptop is possible. For those of you that want to start something that you don't even know where to start, it's because of you don't understand the concept of hope. Yeah, once you ask the right question and set yourself accordingly, definitely you'll see it becoming possible. So having hope is something that you need to try to be aware of once you are doing anything, because I've never seen anything that is not possible on earth. Nothing. Everything you can imagine and think of, trust me, it's possible. Even doing evil, people think about it and it's possible. So why did you think that being good or doing something good or doing something great cannot be possible if you only believe in it? So that is it. So we moved on to the pain of ignorance. We actually talk about modesty. So modesty, I don't really want to go deep into it because some people we actually gonna quote this wrong, but talking about it, I still don't care about whatever anyone said about that. So modesty to me is actually, I put it in a form of you having respect for yourself. Modesty is when you have self-respect for yourself. You should know the picture you put out there. You should know what you put out there. You should know what you represent, the brand you represent. Through your brand you represent, through the respect you have for yourself, you should know that. Maybe girls, for example, this topic specifically for girls, for example, you have this kind of standard. You've built yourself to this kind of standard, to this kind of level, intelligent, smart, hard-working woman, and you know that, okay, this is what you want for yourself in the future. Maybe you want a man that is this, that is that is this, and you picture yourself. What kind of man did you want? So what kind of woman did you want to be to that kind of man that you want? Are you ready for that kind of man? So are you you are expecting to have this man, a man with a vision, a man with a purpose, to impact and to influence the society or the generation at large, and then you're coming up with an attitude or an attitude that doesn't fit in to this man's vision. That attitude could be you not respecting yourself enough, what to wear, respecting yourself enough, the kind of things you allow to get into your mentality. I just call it, it's all modesty. You trying to be aware and respecting yourself for the brand you are representing. So I guess you all know what I mean by this. So moving on, we moved to the pain of ignorance. Yeah, me and English people, don't correct me. So I and Mr. Dev, ignorance is just lack of knowledge and lack of information. Ignorance has this lack of ignorance have caused a lot of damages. Ignorance, not lack of ignorance. The pain of ignorance has caused a lot of damages than good in our society. Lack of knowledge, lack of information. When you don't have enough information to doing something, you find out that you're not going to accomplish that thing. I don't know if you understand. If you want to get into, just like going to education is just like giving you an information, so that is why you can see people that don't even attend the four corners of university, but they have the same information that people that attend the four corners of university had. That is knowledge. Knowledge is all about information. What kind of information do you have? What kind of things are you involved in? So if you have the right information to the things that you want to do, you see yourself being successful in that area. I don't know if you understand. You for example, a lot of people want to you cannot want to invent television, and the information you are having, you are studying mechanical engineering or something that is out of the box, that is not about technology, to invent the electricity or something like that. That means you have been equipping yourself with the wrong information. You cannot want to become a purposeful person, an influential person, without having the right information. A lot of wrong information out there in the society that have actually misled us a lot. They have actually misled us a lot. A lot of wrong information that have got us to doing something that is not called for. And at the end of the day, we found out that you're not living a fulfilling life, and you're not getting to a goal. You're not achieving anything, because you lack information to the direction that you want to move in life. So I think the pain of ignorance is something that you wouldn't want to go through. So I think getting enough information is okay. Question a lot of things. The best way to get information is by questioning. See, you cannot get a correct information without questioning. You don't accept everything that they told you, or they told you rather. You don't accept everything. You question. Why is this? Why is that? So why is this and that? You have to question. If you didn't question, if they tell you that, okay, maybe they bring out the television, this is LG television, maybe, and they tell you that this is Toshiba. Well, it's LG, but they told you it's Toshiba. You didn't ask, okay, where is it written Toshiba? Please, can I see the brand? Can I see the manufacturing brand label or something like that, so that I can be able to confirm that this is actually Toshiba, not LG. You just believe that, okay, it's LG. You see, you didn't question that. You have been given the wrong information, but because you fail to question, you've taken that wrong information, and you might go out there to tell someone else that this TV is actually this, and you're not spreading the wrong information because you failed to question that information that was given to you, to verify and to be sure that this is the correct information. So that is the best way of learning. You have to question things. You don't just accept everything that is being told to you. So that is the reason why some religious people don't like people that the non-believers. Most of the non-believers that question some doctrines and act and and everything. That's by the way. So let's move ahead. So then we talked about another thing. We talked about is the power of planning. So planning is deciding in advance what to do, when to do it, how to do it, and all that. So, and how it's going to be done. Planning is very powerful. Planning is very powerful. See, without proper planning, there's a saying that said that when you fail to plan, that means you have actually planned to fail. I don't know if you understand. Because when you want to achieve a purpose in life, I'm doing these things for the purposeful people. Because I know there is a lot of people out there that want to be influential, that want to be purposeful, that want to be impactful, that want to live a life of legacy. So for you to achieve all those dreams, there are some certain things you're not supposed to pay attention to. There are some certain principles you're supposed to pay attention to. And these are the principles I'm trying to make you to understand, that planning is part of those principles of fulfilling a purpose. You have to know how to plan. You have to know how to plan. Planning is very essential. That just tell me, if you want to put yourself under pressure, if you want to live a life without a direction, just live life without planning. You'll just see yourself moving from the same direction to the same direction, without any change, without any impact, without nothing to live for and all that. So you see that planning becomes very, very essential, and all this is something that we should actually definitely look out for, because I have never seen a man that has failed to plan. I've never seen someone that have failed to plan that have not actually fulfilled the purpose. Because planning is something that you know that, okay, fine, maybe you want to travel to Xmas for so day, and then maybe in the next 2 months, and you started planning 1 week or 1 month after, it is going to help you to fulfill whatever plan or whatever thing that you have to fulfill there, wherever you're going to. So you see the power of planning, you see how essential it is. So it is very, very, very important that you understand how to plan. So, and then moving on to the next topic, we talked about the big in the small, and that stuff is something that me and Mr. Goodman, we had a very good conversation about the big in the small. And most people dream big, but they are just scared to start. They are just scared to start. I know a lot of people have a lot of dreams that is dead today because they fail to they are scared to start. There's always this thing that I have never seen a successful person, someone that have fulfilled a dream in life in our universe that started big. It's not a bad thing that, okay, let me take for an example the story that I've been told to us. Maybe the inventor of Microsoft, the founder of Google, and all those people, we all saw where they started from. They had a big dream, but with time, they were able to start somewhere. So with time, they were able to grow, through the learning, through the mistake they have made and all that. Because you can never start perfect. You can never see anything that you have not engaged yourself into. You will never learn a ways to improve yourself. If you have not started, you can't learn, you can't improve. There is no improvement without starting point. No matter the big dreams you have, if you are able to convince yourself that you are going to start from somewhere, that means you've overcome you have successfully taken the first step of greatness. Because a big dream will always have somewhere you have to start from. I know a lot of people want to start a business. They see a business of 100 million. Yeah, they see a business of 100 million, and they see people making 100 million, 50 million, and all that. And you have 100,000 or 500,000, and you are scared to start because you see, no. Can you just go and ask those people how they started? So what we are trying to talk about here is the big in the small is actually having a big dream, starting small. It doesn't matter where you're starting from. All you have to be aware is your dreams. If your dreams are big enough and you're starting small, don't worry. It's just going to take a little time. As long as you work hard on it, trust me, one day you're going to see it come into existence. It requires proper planning, just like I talk about, patience, perseverance. As long as you're going to get through all those things, definitely you are going to see yourself living that dreams to the fullest. Okay, so the next thing we talked about is gossip. A casual and unconstrained conversation or report about other people, maybe typically involving details that are not confirmed, talking about someone which is none of your business, or sharing an information that you're not supposed to, or involving in a conversation that can be unconstrained. Gossip, it's something that it's something that is very bad, and a lot of people have figured out that there could be a negative gossip and there could be a positive gossip. But to me, I still found that gossip is something that seems to be there is gossip, there is gist. Okay, so people misunderstand gossip and sometimes people misunderstand gist. So there is gist. Gist is actually talking about what happened, how it happened. So maybe you are trying to tell someone, to explain someone a situation, a case study of something that happened. Maybe the case study have to involve someone that because you are there, you witnessed it. Something that you witnessed, it's called a gist. But you are not there, you are told that something like this happened, or someone told you something, confiding in you, and all that, you have to go and explain. That is called, actually, gossip is a negative part of conversation. Gossip is always a negative part of conversation. Okay, so but gist, some people actually misunderstand this gist as gossip. So when you actually having a conversation, a positive conversation about what happened, with a positive influence, with a positive mentality, you don't have anything bad, you don't have any negative mindset about that conversation. You're only saying it because it happened, either to learn something, to educate, to informate, to pass information. I don't know if you understand. So when it always have to be of a positive influence. That is what we call it gist, talking about something that has happened. But when it comes to the other side, being negative, it always tends to be a gossip. So a gossip is something that most of us is not actually have to be involved in because of the formation of character and spoiling of reputation. People have gone far of building this reputation and trying to build this brand or trying to build this profile, and you see one thing that is not actually necessary or something that is not even important just comes out from nowhere, and just spoil everything in a twinkle of an eye, So, and we should also be intelligent enough to pay attention to know the things that are gossip and to know the things that are gist. Yeah, because if you actually believe in everything you heard, you're going to have a lot of problems learning. Why? Because believing in everything you've heard, you've actually surrendered your mentality. You've actually surrendered yourself to that information. So that is why we have to be very, very careful for the sake of pain of ignorance. So knowledge is very important, and information is the key to knowledge. The right information is always the best one. So whatever you are hearing, whatever you are, no matter what you are listening to, always try to question the fact. Try to question that. Confirm. Okay? So don't be this doomed that you believe whatever you've been told. So I think that is one of the best ways we always get misled in our society. So I just call it one of the best ways because the manipulators are always using it to get to us, to play around our emotions and so information is the key. Knowledge is everything, and the principles of life is always very simple when we pay attention to some certain things. So I think I'm going to be stopping here for now. So on the next episode, I'm going to put you all through on the topic that I've actually talked about on the podcast. It's just going to be a review still. So I'll be starting from the episode 21 to the next episode for us to have a critical analysis of what we've actually talked about. All right. So thank you so much for anyone that is listening to my podcast and to anyone watching out there. I want to say thank you and God bless you for being with me. I will see you on the next episode. Bye.